So today's adventure brings us to Escondido. Today we're exploring 3 different neighborhoods in Escondido. Right now we're starting at Canopy Grove. We're gonna go to another master plan community and then at like a secret kind of very cool community. You guys might not know about it, even if you're looking on maps and stuff in San Diego here. We're gonna let you know about it. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna jump into the map as well and show you all around. Right now we are at Canopy Grove, which we're gonna get into what it used to be, but this is their community center. So we're just chatting with the gal who runs it. It's Wedgwood Weddings, puts on events here. And what was she telling us, Cassie?
So they have the HOA events that they work with the HOA to do, and she said at least 1 a month, sometimes 2, food trucks, Halloween event, some paint and sip next month, it sounds like. So it's just some cool things, but then you can also, the public can rent it out for weddings, bar mitzvahs, birthday parties, anything you can think of. And it's a huge space, and they also have their own catering here. So cool spot.
Yeah, and it's for residents here, not part of the event center. I mean, you could rent it out if you want to, but there's a pool area, potentially, not yet, building a fitness center. So that is, you know, if you're living here, obviously you'll have access to that. And so also at this community center, you have the pool, which we mentioned. You have a bocce court, which I'm walking in right now. You have a horseshoe pit right over that way. There's some fire pits over here. There's some picnic tables and whatnot. So if you want to get out, enjoy a little snack. And even when events and stuff are going on, you can still cruise out here and enjoy all these amenities as well. Some barbecues and stuff in the pool area. So neat little community center right here at Canopy Grove.
So where Canopy Grove is kind of the northwestern portion of Escondido, and it's right on the border of San Marcos and a little bit more on the cooler side of Escondido, because as soon as you start going out further east, it definitely starts to cook.
He says cooler, but I'm
today.
sweating, man. I came from the ocean, I didn't come from the ocean. I came from the coast.
Okay, Aquaman.
it was probably like, I don't know, 15 degrees cooler. So I got jeans on. Cassie's rocking shorts, which was a much better move. But yeah, as you get towards Escondido, as you get further east, it's gonna get hotter and hotter and hotter. So you're kind of right on the border here of where you start getting that. I've put my shades on because it's a beautiful day here in San Diego as well. But anyways, let's go check out this community.
So we are in one of the more unique communities here in Escondido. You might not know it, but this used to be a golf course. So this used to be Escondido Country Club, and it sat for a long time after they stopped taking care of it, after it stopped operating, and it was just dead grass for as far as you can see. And a developer bought it up and put in this very kind of unique community that runs where the golf course used to run here in Escondido. And it's,
I'm gonna show them on a map too.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'll show a quick little overhead. I'll try to find an older one because you could see actually where the golf course used to be. So like kind of the roads are winding and you know, like it's not too deep because it's however wide a fairway could be, you know,
Yeah.
that's how wide the roads are. And there's like 2 houses on each side or whatever, so.
But then also there were houses on that country club or on that golf course.
Yep.
So as you'll see right next to us,
Back that way.
even has a golf cart ramp right here. So these houses used to be on the golf course, but it's just very unique. It's you got 70s here, you've got brand new here, 70s and 80s, and very different houses. These are larger, smaller lots. These are a lot of single story, lot smaller homes. We call it the country club area of Escondido, and Canopy Grove is just kind of right in the middle of it.
Yeah, most of this area as far as schools and whatnot are gonna feed the Escondido schools, and within this community too, they put a bunch of trails. Like, I don't know what fairway are we on right now?
No clue.
Because now I'm thinking like going through, like it's kind of a bummer for like a lot of these houses that were over here that used to have these great golf course views. Now you're looking at houses, but
Yep.
There's a little space, you're spread out. And if there's like also ones, if you're looking at single story back here, a little further back this way, where you're not looking at the brand new construction over here. Yeah, and price points right around like $1 million starting in here. There's a few a little bit under that, but they are fairly fresh, like 2020, 2021. So if you want like almost brand new.
This is your spot.
This is your spot, yeah. Almost brand new. We're kind of like for San Diego, an affordable price where you get a decent amount of square footage as well. So right behind us is one of the bigger parks in here. There's another smaller one. It's, you know, it's not known for parks, but this one's actually pretty cool. You can hear the pickleball, maybe you could hear it going in the background there. Got some basketball courts. There's actually a beach volleyball, a little playground. So pretty sweet little amenity to have in here. But right within here, this section of Escondido, you don't find too many other amenities. No real shopping. There's a little convenience store, a little 7-Eleven right over here, a little Mexican food spot. What else is in there? Oh, coffee shop.
But if you're really looking for like your amenities, you got Costco. It's probably like a 10-minute drive off Nordall. You've got Walmart over there. Actually, a ton of little restaurants, kind of fast foodie spots over there too.
And then directly down El Norte, that's where you could find like some, you know, grocery stores and that kind of stuff. Killer Pizza from Mars is right over there as well. You're gonna be a little bit further from that downtown Escondido where you do have some local spots, kind of like Grand Avenue and all that. But you are, you're not too far, maybe 15 minutes or so. But so like, I guess the shopping is somewhat convenient, but there's nothing like directly right in here. So now we're still west of the 15 freeway. We're in Harmony Grove Village. But before we get into it, just as a quick reminder, I love making these videos for you guys, but we're also real estate agents. So if this area might work or other areas, we got a ton of other videos. Go check those out, but hit us up. If you're looking for some help, you're moving to San Diego, we got your back. Call, text, or email. We got your back. I just said that. So we got, you know, we got it. But we're in Harmony Grove Village right now. And it is a master plan community right here. We're in 4th of July Park, a big central park here. There was supposed to be some commercial space back here, but it's still not built out. So commercial areas, shopping and that, you're like 10 minutes away. What's over there? Target. We always go, if you watch any of our videos, yes, Target and Home Depot. How far are those? That's like our two things. Maybe Costco, we'll throw that in every now and again. But yeah, you're like 10 minutes away from all that. So you're kind of tucked away back here. It's gorgeous back here, actually. Rolling hills, it's quiet. And yeah, just a cool spot that's fairly fresh. 2017 is when they built this.
This is a master plan community, but there are a couple of different types of housing. The ones kind of off to our side here are 3-story, where you've got potential commercial space in that first level and then your home above that. And a lot of these have alleys in the back, so not huge yards for the most part. But there is a lot of outdoor space here. You know, you've got the park like we're walking through right now, but there's a lot of just green space and sidewalks, so it's easy to get out and get some fresh air out here too. And then you've got kind of on the outskirts, kind of more of that traditional 2-story homes. We're walking actually right towards some of them. Same thing though, a lot of them have alleys in the back, so not huge backyards. Some have some side yard areas. And then kind of on the outer rim, you've got some larger homes, kind of in that mid $1 million price range, where a lot of these other ones are kind of at the low 1 million.
Now we're at the upper section, one of the last phases up here in Harmony Grove Village. This is a little bit bigger homes. You're gonna find bigger lots. We're elevated a little bit, so sometimes you do have views up here. You're looking like 35, 4,000 square foot-ish. You can see back here, get some Beetlejuice going on. It's very festive. Obviously, you guys know what season we're in right now. So cruising through, there were some pirates crossing the road up there. It looks pretty fun. But so if you guys are exploring, come check it out during the October season. But price points up here are a little bit higher as well because you're getting obviously more square footage, a little bit newer, a little bit bigger.
A couple of other things that you're close to here is the hospital. You can actually see it from here. We've got Stone Brewing is just around the corner as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm doing 75 hard right now. If I wasn't, we'd be doing it live from Stone Brewing.
Maybe I'll go after.
It's an awesome spot, really good beer, really good food, very cool venue, and it's like right up the road from here. So you can obviously go hit that pretty darn easily.
I mentioned earlier there's a ton of sidewalks to walk around, but there's also a bunch of trails that kind of connect all the different areas of Harmony Grove Village. So also there is an HOA here, so they do have community events kind of down at that park where we started Harmony Grove Village, but they also are taking care of some of the like architectural. These are newer houses, so there's not a lot going on, but landscaping and all that stuff. Some of these houses are still getting their landscaping done. So 2 important things that you might be thinking about if you're thinking about living in Harmony Grove Village. Where am I gonna work and where are the kids gonna go to school? So start with schools. It feeds into, or these homes feed into Escondido School District. So that's the school portion of things. And we are kind of secluded out here. It's kind of its own little bubble, surrounded by a whole ton of nature. But then back to commuting. You are, since we're kind of out there, the commuting part of your decision to live out here, it's a bit of a hike to get to anywhere. So if you're working in Escondido, that's easy. If you're commuting anywhere to get to the 15, to head south or north, you're looking at about 15 minutes to get to the freeway from here. If you are working anywhere on the coast, you can cut through Harmony Grove and kind of into San Alejo Hills to get to the kind of coastal areas like Encinitas, Del Mar, Solana Beach, but that's probably still gonna be like 25, 30-minute drive to the 5 freeway.
Now we're in the hidden neighborhood that we mentioned. This is called Elfin Forest. It's right on the edge, like right back that way is San Alejo Hills, which if you've seen any of our past videos, that's what we've talked about a lot. But it's very rural out here. It's very spread out. It's very similar to, which, I mean, it borders Olivenhain, which is in Encinitas. This is still obviously in Escondido, but out here, man, you got space. You have, which we just passed coming in, there's the Elfin Forest. Is it called the Preserve?
Yeah.
The Preserve out there,
Hiking
a bunch of
trails.
trails. There's a big, the Olivenhain Dam reservoir right at the top there. But out here, you got equestrian, you got multiple acre lots. There's some area to build.
And there's not a ton of amenities. There were no amenities before San Alejo Hills was built, but now you've got a grocery store and a lot of the amenities that San Alejo has to offer.
How far is it?
5 minutes from most of Elfin Forest.
Yeah.
Some spots it's a little further out depending on which streets you're on, because you can get kind of lost in these windy streets. So Elfin Forest also is kind of like the more affordable version of like Rancho Santa Fe or Olivenhain. You still get a lot of land. You can still do what you want with it. You could put tennis courts on, pickleball courts, pools, all of that great stuff. It's just a little bit cheaper. And part of that is that it's a little bit more out there, a little bit more rural. So if you're looking for kind of that quiet, rural, spread out area, Elfin Forest is a great option. I mean, there's most of the properties out here are gonna give you that kind of privacy. And it's just kind of a more laid back lifestyle than some of the other spots we showed you today, but also kind of North County as a whole. This is definitely one of the just more laid back, quiet communities.
You're gonna find some dirt roads, which we're walking on right now, some unpaved roads, some half paved roads, some nurseries we're walking past right now. There's some, not stables, but like big corrals for horses over here. So that's what you get out here in Elfin Forest. Now we're back in the studio. I'm gonna hop into the map and show you all the areas that we just went to, give you a better idea of where everywhere is, all the places we talked about, so you can figure out if this is the spot for you or if any of these are the spots for you. So let's jump into it. Zooming in, Escondido, right up here, about 35, 40 minutes from downtown San Diego. You can just shoot down the 15 freeway and it'll get you there. But as we're cruising in, first stop was Canopy Grove. It's in this northern section. Everywhere we hit today was on the west side of the 15. So Escondido goes way back here, wraps around down here. First spot was right in here. So everything's west of the 5 freeway. You can see when Country Club pops up, that's the old country club we were talking about. Canopy Grove is right in this area here. Here's the park we highlighted. You can see these are all the streets. Let me bring up, this is where the old golf course was. So you can see all in here. This is Canopy Grove. It kind of loops around. There's some down to the south here. And like I said, there's not much infrastructure here. Right here is where the community center is. You can see it's not built out in this picture, but we showed it to you there. So that is the Canopy Grove. Here's the little trails going around at the neighborhood. And then all of this outside kind of going all the way around up and down Country Club Lane as well. These are a lot of those single family homes that are the older style that aren't within Canopy Grove. The tiny little shopping center that we brought up was right in here. This is where you got your 7-Eleven, Cenote Grill, and there's a little tiny coffee shop in there. As you go out, the next biggest shopping center is going to be this Vons over here. So just before you get to the 15 freeway, it's actually a pretty good size. So you have a little bit of everything you need in here. You got haircut place, you got your Vons. Here's where we showed the little clip from in the video where you do have a little Mexican food spot, another little coffee spot in here. So from Canopy Grove and that surrounding country club area, you're real quick shot down to the 15 freeway where you cut down to the 78 freeway, which is going to bring you east to west. Or if you have to go further south, if you're working in the central part of San Diego, you are once again an easy shot down the 15. And most of this section of the 15 is not going to get too congested. They are doing some road work up here, kind of going through this section. So that's going to be a little congested as of the time of recording, but really doesn't get too trafficy until you get a little bit further south where you have some of these splits and whatnot. So from Canopy Grove, the next spot that we hit up was right down here. This is Harmony Grove Village. So the Central Park right here where we started. And then you do have another park, which we didn't even mention, but it's a bigger park right down here, and then a huge equestrian park as well. So not much, just a little playground at this park. If you bring it up on the map, on the satellite map, you can see big area. When we drove by, the grass is actually kind of looks like this. It was a little bit dead, but a little bit of playground here, but plenty of room to jump out there and roam. And then as you're going through a lot of this community here, you can see all of these trails. We filmed on this one right over here. There's ones cutting up through the middle. There's a few going through this way. You can see they kind of wrap all around the center section where we started at 4th of July Park. Here's where you're going to find those 3 stories. It's kind of a smaller section. There's a few on this side. There's a few over here. As you get into the secondary rings, so you can see they're pretty tight in here. But as you get to this section here, this is a lot of those 2 stories. As you go up the hill, so as you're seeing kind of the winding roads up here, this is where the houses are getting a little bigger. This is like when Cassidy mentioned the outside loop. That's kind of this whole section up here, all up here, and then all up here as well. So this is where you're going to start getting some of those views. And as you can see, there's not much surrounding here. So as far as infrastructure, you're going to be heading to the east a little bit. Harmony Grove will lead you, if you follow this, it'll lead us to the next neighborhood, which I'll show you here. But these are all the rolling hills, so it's really actually pretty beautiful back there. But for shopping and whatnot, you can see right to the east, this is where you're going to have the bigger shopping center. You don't need LensCraft unless you do need LensCrafters, but get out of here. This is where you're going to find like Target. This is where you're going to find a few other big box stores right down Valley Parkway as well. You have Home Depot. There's a few restaurants in here. You have your Albertsons for shopping. So this whole section is where you're going to be most likely doing a lot of that stuff. You'll see a bigger industrial area up here where it says Vineyard. Not too much in there. That's just all a bunch of commercial. You do have Auto Parkway and stuff where you do have, if you need to buy a car, this is one of the spots you can go in San Diego. So a bunch of car dealerships in that little section. And then Stone Brewing is going to be right here. So from Harmony Grove Village, you're like 5 minutes away. And this is where you're going to have the gardens and stuff, which we showed you. There's a whole garden section. It's a big outdoor space. Good food, good beer, good vibe. And from Harmony Grove Village here, like I said, you shoot down Harmony Grove Road. Here's the big Elfin Forest reserve. So all of these trails, they're pretty steep. But once you get up to the top, you have a bunch more trails up to the reservoir here. A bunch more trails out here. But here is Elfin Forest. So as you get to this section right here, this is the third area we covered. There's not a ton of houses out here because they are spread out. You're going to have these bigger lots out here. Once again, no infrastructure directly in this section. You're going to have to keep continuing down Elfin Forest Road until you get to San Elijo Hills and the town center So right here, you do have the Albertsons, you got your Starbucks, there's a few other little restaurants in here. Lourdes is fantastic as well. So you're like 5 minutes, maybe 8 minutes from that if you're living like a little bit out here. So Elfin Forest was the third section. Let me just zoom us out again just so you get your bearings. Right up here, Canopy Grove, and then you had Harmony Grove Village, and then right in here you have Elfin Forest.
And if you are thinking about moving out this way, definitely get in touch with us. We are real estate agents here in San Diego. It could be one of the areas we looked at today. Could be somewhere else in Escondido or somewhere else in San Diego. Get in touch with us and check out that next video that's popping up right there.